Om. 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 ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। May I read the only shlokas and meaning from chapter 5 till you get said, Dr. Mara?
Yeah, go ahead.
अथ श्रीकृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। अथ पंचमोऽध्यायः कर्म संन्यासयोगः। अर्जुन उवाच संन्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण पुनर्योगं च शंससि यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकं तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्। Arjuna said, O Krishna, you praise renunciation of action and again yoga, performance of action. Tell me conclusively that which is the better of the two. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Sannyasa Karma Yogasya Nishreyasakaravubhau तयोस्तु कर्म संन्यासात् कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते. The blessed Lord said, renunciation of action and yoga of action both lead to the highest bliss. But of the two, yoga of action is superior to the renunciation of action. ज्ञेयः स नित्यसन्न्यासी यो न द्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो सुखं बन्धात् प्रमुच्यते. He should be known as a perpetual sannyasi who neither hates nor desires. For free from the pairs of opposites, O mighty armed, he is easily set free from bondage. साङ्ख्ययोगौ पृथक् बालाः प्रवदन्ति न पण्डिताः एकमप्यास्थितः सम्यगुभयोर्विन्दते फलम्. Children, not the wise, speak of Sankhya, knowledge, and yoga of action, as distinct. He who is truly established even in one obtains the fruits of both. यत्साङ्ख्यैः प्राप्यते स्थानं तद्योगैरपि गम्यते एकं साङ्ख्यं च योगं च यः पश्यति स पश्यति. That place which is reached by the Sankhyas, Jnanis, is also reached by the yogins, karma yogins. He sees who sees Sankhya and yoga as one. संन्यासस्तु महाबाहो दुःखमा दुःखमाप्तुमयोगतः योगयुक्तो मुनिर्ब्रह्म न चिरेणाधिगच्छति. But renunciation, O mighty arm, is hard to attain without yoga. The yoga harmonized man of steady contemplation quickly goes to Brahman. Yoga yukto vishuddhatma vijitatma jitendriya sarva bhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate. He who is devoted to the path of action, whose mind is quite pure, who has conquered the self, who has subdued his senses, who realizes his self as the self in all beings, though acting is not tainted. नैव किञ्चित् करोमीति युक्तो मन्येत तत्त्ववित् पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिघ्रन् अश्वन् गच्छन् स्वपश्वसन् I do nothing at all. Thus would the harmonized knower of truth think, seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, going, sleeping, breathing. प्रलपन् विसृजन् गृह्णन् उन्मिषन् निमिषन्नपि इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेषु वर्तन्त इति धारयन्. Speaking, letting go, seizing, opening and closing the eyes, convinced that the senses move among the sense objects. ब्रह्मण्याधाय कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा करोति यः लिप्यते न स पापेन पद्मपत्रमिवाम्भसा. He who does actions offering them to Brahman, abandoning attachment, is not tainted by sin, just as a lotus leaf remains unaffected by the water on it. कायेन मनसा बुद्ध्या कायेन मनसा बुद्ध्या केवलैरिन्द्रियैरपि योगिनः कर्म कुर्वन्ति सङ्गं त्यक्त्वात्मशुद्धये. Yogis, having abandoned attachment, perform actions merely by the body, mind, intellect, and senses for the purification of the self, ego. युक्तः कर्मफलं त्यक्त्वा शान्तिमाप्नोति नैष्ठिकीम् अयुक्तः कामकारेण फले सक्तो निबध्यते. The united one, the well-poised or the harmonized, having abandoned the fruits of action, attains eternal peace. The non-united, the unsteady or the unbalanced, impelled by desire and attached to the fruit, is bound. सर्वकर्माणि मनसा सन्न्यस्यास्ते सुखं वशी नवद्वारे पुरे देहि नैव कुर्वन्न कारयन्. Mentally renouncing all actions and fully self-controlled, the embodied one rests happily in the city of nine gates, neither acting nor causing others, body and senses, to act. न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न कर्मफलसंयोगं स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते. Neither agency nor actions does the Lord create for the world, nor union with the fruits of actions, but it is nature that acts. नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं न चैव सुकृतं विभुः अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः. The Lord takes neither the demerit nor even the merit of any. Knowledge is enveloped by ignorance, thereby beings are deluded. ज्ञानेन तु तद् ज्ञानेन तु तदज्ञानं येषां नाशितमात्मनः तेषामादित्यवज्ञानं प्रकाशयति तत्परम्. But to those whose ignorance is destroyed by the knowledge of the self, like the sun, to them knowledge reveals the supreme Brahman. Tadbuddha yastadaatmanastannishthasthatparayana गच्छन्त्य पुनरावृत्तिं ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः. Intellect absorbed in that, their self-being, that, established in that, with that, for their supreme goal, they go where there is no return, their sins dispelled by knowledge. विद्या विनय संपन्ने ब्राह्मणे गविहस्तिनि शुनि चैव श्वपाके च पंडिताः समदर्शिनः. Sages look with an equal eye upon a brahmana endowed with learning and humility, on a cow, on an elephant, and even on a dog and an outcast. इहैव तैर्जितः सर्गो येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म तस्मात् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः. Even here in this world, birth, everything is overcome by those whose minds rest in equality. Brahman is spotless indeed and equal. Therefore, they are established in Brahman. न प्रहृष्येत् प्रियं प्राप्य नोद्विजेत् प्राप्य च प्रियं स्थिरबुद्धिर् स्थिरबुद्धिरसम्मूढो ब्रह्मविद् ब्रह्मणि स्थितः. Resting in Brahman with steady intellect and deluded, the knower of Brahman neither rejoices on obtaining what is pleasant nor grieves on obtaining what is unpleasant. Om Tat Sat. Shri Paramatma Arpanam. Yeah, Dr. Mara, please go ahead. I think we completed till 1920, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we did the 20th, but we didn't do the Manana. I think maybe we should
Yes.
this again and then do the Manana.
Yeah, please.
All right. You read the sloka already, so I'll just go straight to the reading and go for that.
Yeah.
Brahmavit, one who knows Brahman, Brahmani in Brahman, Sitaha, established, Stira Buddhihi, one whose knowledge is firm, Asammudaha, one who is free from delusion. So Asammudaha is one who is free from the delusion. Priyam, that which is desirable. Prapya, gaining, na prahishyat. One does not rejoice over, should not rejoice over, or does not rejoice over. Apriyamcha, and that is undesirable. Prapya, gaining, na udvijat, should not resent or does not resent. So, Brahmavit Brahmani stitaha stira buddhihi asammudaha priyam prapya na prahishyat.
Na prahrushyet. Na prahrushyet.
Okay, na prahishyet. Na prahishyet. Apriyam cha prapya na udvijat.
Na udvijet.
Na
Udvijet.
Oh, okay. Udvijat. Jait. Okay. Udvijat. I know there is no A in Sanskrit, right? Okay. One who knows Brahman, the one who knows Brahman, who is established in Brahman, okay, the one who knows Brahman, who is established in Brahman, whose knowledge is firm and who is free from delusion, should or does not rejoice over gaining that which is desirable, and should or does not resent gaining that which is undesirable. Again, one the one who knows Brahman, who is established in Brahman, whose knowledge is firm, and who is free from delusion, should or does not rejoice over gaining that which is desirable, and should or does not resent gaining that which is undesirable. In this verse, Krishna continues his discussion of the person who has the vision of the self, Atma, as that which is never undergoes any change. And undergoes that change, sorry. That which is always the same, never undergoes change, always which is the same, Sama. Such people were referred to as Samadarshinaha 2 verses previously, because they see this sameness, this Atma in everyone and everything. In Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, or even a dog eater. It is not that they see everyone and everything as equal, but rather they see the Atma, the self in everyone that undergoes no change. This is very important distinction that needs to be clearly understood. Here in this verse, we are told how such a wise person would respond to situations, both desirable, priya, and the undesirable, apriya. Examples have already been given. A Brahmana one who has the knowledge and humility, Vidya Vinayavan, and a dog eater, Swapak, respectively. The wise person is called Sthira Buddhi in this verse, which we shall discuss later. So, this is about the introduction, right? They discussed what was done in the last 2 verses about the wise person. Is a mandate intended here, gaining something desirable, priyam propya. Okay, gaining something desirable is priyam propya. Sthira buddhi does not rejoice. Na prakrushyat. The form of the verb used here, prakrushyat, generally implies a mandate. May the wise person not rejoice. May he or she not become elated. But is this really a mandate? Krishna is not cautioning the wise here. He is not saying, be very careful. You are the knower of Brahman, and if you rejoice or get upset, your knowledge may be disturbed. So don't get elated or troubled by anything. Since there is no question of a wise person becoming elated or troubled, Krishna's statement, may one not become elated by the desirable and troubled by the undesirable, is not a mandate. Whenever this kind of statement comes up in the Gita, there is a conversation to be made, because it is not Krishna's intention to mandate behavior here or to set down rules. The words as they are do, however, accomplish something in that they are quiet statements for those who want to become wise, Brahmavids, because they imply that by following Karma Yoga, the mind will become prepared for gaining the knowledge, but with the reference to the person who already has the knowledge, the sentence, may he or she not rejoice, na prakrushyet, should be translated as he or she does not rejoice, na prakrushyati. Prakrushyati, okay. Na prakrushyati. So similarly, may he or she not get upset, na udvijet. Udvijet is to be taken as he or she does not get upset, na udvijet. Udvijet. No, jate, what is this? Na udvijate.
Udvijay.
No, here is a jate, right? Udvijade. Okay. This then is intended meaning here. Hmm. What Krishna is saying here is that if a person is wise, what Krishna is saying here is that if a person is wise, he or she does not get elated when confronted by desirable situations, nor does such a person get upset by undesirable situations. Apriyam propyacha. This response to situations is quite unlike how others usually behave. When something desirable comes along, you become so elated, you hit the ceiling, to use the vernacular. And if it is something undesirable, you hit the ground, rolling around, moaning and groaning about your lot. In this way, your responses are like the ups and downs of yo yo, because anyone who is subject to elation is also subject to the anticlimaxes that come in its wake. Subject to anticlimaxes that come in its wake. The wise person, on the other hand, is disturbed neither by the desirable nor the undesirable. Okay, the wise person, on the other hand, is disturbed neither by the desirable nor the undesirable. Na prakrishyat prayam propya, na udvijit propya cha apriyam. The person does not become elated or dejected. Okay, the person does not become elated or dejected. He or she is happy with the desirable and not unhappy with the undesirable, which does not mean the wise person is happy with the undesirable. What is meant is that he or she is not unhappy with the undesirable and is not elated by the desirable. For the wise person, there is only fullness, his or her own fullness. Such a person's fullness does not depend upon situations because he or she is sthira buddhi, one whose knowledge of Atma, the self, is firm. So we talked about what is mandate here, right? And then the terms we learned here is about priyam prapya, the sthira buddhi, na prakrish. Can you say this again, Balaji? Na prakrishyat.
Prahrushyet.
Oh, eight.
Prahrushyet.
Prakrishyet. And then
Yeah.
na udvijet, right? Udvijet.
Yeah. In the shloka, let me just see in the shloka. Udvijay. Let me check the shloka because I'm.
I know. In the
No
English, they say
udvijet.
uh,
Udvijet. श्लोका
udvijet.
न प्रहर्ष्येत्
Hmm.
प्रियं प्राप्य नो द्विजेत् प्राप्य च अप्रियम्.
Hmm. Okay. So I'm just trying to get all the words together so that we remember this sloka better. So do you want me to repeat this paragraph one more time?
Yes, Dr. Mara.
Okay. So is a mandate intended here? Gaining something desirable, priyam prapya, the sthira buddhi does not rejoice, na prakrishyet. Prakrishyet. The form of the verb used here, prakrishyet, generally implies a mandate. May the wise person not rejoice. May he or she not become elated. But is this really a mandate? Krishna is not cautioning the wise here. He is not saying, be very careful. You are a knower of Brahman, and if you rejoice or get upset, your knowledge may be disturbed. So don't get elated or troubled by anything. Since there is no question of a wise person become elated or troubled, Krishna's statement, may one not become elated by the desirable and troubled by the undesirable, is not a mandate. Whenever this kind of statement comes up in the Gita, there is the conversion to be made because it's not Krishna's intention to mandate behavior here or to set down rules. So you have to understand this point here. Mandate behavior here or to set down rules. The words as they are do, however, accomplish something in that they are quiet statements for those who want to become wise Brahmavids, because they imply that by following Karma Yoga, the mind will become prepared for gaining the knowledge. But with reference to the person who already has the knowledge, the sentence, may he or she not rejoice, na prakrishiyet, should be translated as he or she does not rejoice, na prakrishyati. Similarly, may he or she not get upset, na udvajet, is to be taken as he or she does not get upset, na udvijate. This then is intended meaning here. What Krishna is saying here is that if the person is wise, he or she does not get elated when confronted by desirable situations, nor does such a person get upset by undesirable situations. Apriyam prapyacha. This response to situations is quite unlike how others usually behave. When something desirable comes along, you become so elated, you hit the ceiling, to use the vernacular. And if it is something undesirable, you hit the ground, rolling around, moaning and groaning about your lot. In this way, your responses are like the ups and downs of a yo-yo, because anyone who is subject to elation is also subject to the anticlimaxes that come in its wake. The wise person, on the other hand, is disturbed neither by desirable nor the undesirable. Na praharshyet propyam, sorry, na praharshyet priyam propya na udvajit propya cha apriyam. The person who does not become elated or dejected, he or she is with the desirable, and he or she is happy with the desirable and not unhappy with the undesirable. It does not mean the wise person is happy with the undesirable. What is meant is that he or she is not unhappy with undesirable and is not elated by the desirable. For the wise person, there is only fullness, his or her own fullness. Such a person's fullness does not depend upon situations, because he or she is sthira buddhi, one whose knowledge of Atma, the self, is firm. Going on to the wise person's knowledge is steady. In his commentary of this verse, Shankara defines Sthira Buddhi as one who knows firmly the one unchanging Atma, free of all attributes in all beings. I know she read this Sanskrit line. Do you want to read it, sorry, biology, this
Yeah.
one?
सर्वभूतेषु एकः समः निर्दोषः आत्मा इति स्थिरा निर्विचिकित्सा बुद्धिः यस्य सः स्थिरबुद्धिः.
Can you go with this what? Apa?
सर्व
No, no,
निर्विचिकित्सा.
no. This one, the okay. Go ahead and read it again.
The footnote you are telling me to read, no?
Yeah, the footnote.
Yeah, सर्वभूतेषु एकः समः
Mm,
निर्दोषः
mm,
आत्मा इति स्थिरा निर्विचिकित्सा बुद्धिः
mm.
यस्य सः स्थिरबुद्धिः.
Okay, good. Okay, this is
Nirvichikitsa, the word I was just looking in Sanskrit dictionary, it says the one
mm,
who has unwavering faith, which is without any doubt, without a
yeah,
second.
Nirvikshikta. Yesterday we read that, right? The asamudaha means that there's no vagueness or doubt. And same thing with the vikshis.
Yes, Brahmaraji had correct.
Etc. Atma iti stiraha. Okay. All right, got it. So the one who revels in the Brahman, who doesn't have any doubt, and their mind is uh, rooted in the Brahman, right? That's what. Anyway, where was I reading? Yeah, here. Okay. In his commentary of this verse, Shankara defines Sthira Buddhi as one who knows firmly the one unchanging Atma, free of all attributes in all beings. That's what you read in Sarva Bhuteshya. So, free of all attributes in all beings. Such a person's knowledge, buddhi, is steady, sthira, meaning it is firm, clear. Therefore, the person is called sthira buddhi. The person is called the sthira buddhi. The word sthira is defined here because you may think that, like a steady, well rooted tree, if you shake the knowledge enough, it may become uprooted. In fact, steady knowledge cannot be shaken. This is why it is steady, sthira. In his definition of sthira buddhi, Shankara adds a word nirvisikitsa, nirvisikitsa, vi- visik, visikit,
No,
visikitsha,
Vichikitsa.
because vichikitsa. Okay,
Yeah, you read correctly, Nirvichikitsa, and this is like Vichikitsa. So it is opposite.
Vichikitsa. Vichikitsa means doubt, and Sikitsha means that which is free from doubt. Okay, that's a free from doubt. Nirvisikitsa. Steady knowledge is the firm knowledge that is free from all doubt and vagueness. The one who has this doubt free knowledge is called Thira Buddhi. Okay. The one who has this doubt free knowledge is called Sthira Buddhi. The one whose knowledge is totally firm, free from doubt. When one's knowledge is absolutely doubt free, the person is free from all delusion, moha. There is no delusion whatsoever about the Atma. The person does not take the Atma as the Karta, doer, or as the Bhokta, enjoyer, nor does the person think that Atma is something that is located in a certain place which is different from everything else. So I'll read this line again. The person does not take the Atma as the Karta, doer, or as the Bhokta, enjoyer. Nor does the person think that the Atma is something that is located in a certain place which is different from everything else. Such a person is called asammuda here. Asammuda here. So the wise person's knowledge is steady. So we read about Sthira Buddhi and Nirvichikitsa. Nirvichikitsa and Vichikitsa, and an Asammuda. There is no Brahman other than Atma. So there is no doubt about Atma is a Sthira Buddhi. There is no Brahman other than Atma. The person is Asammuda because he or she is a Brahmavid. One who knows Brahman. Brahmavid is one who knows Brahman. The one who knows Atma is called an Atmavid, and he is a Brahmavid. The one who knows the Brahman. Okay, the one who knows Atma is called an Atmavid, and he is a Brahmavid, the one who knows the Brahman. The one who knows the Atma is a Brahmavid, and the one who knows Brahman is an Atmavid, because there is no Brahman other than Atma. Atma is Brahman. Therefore, one who knows Atma is a Brahmavid. And being a Brahmavid, the person is said to be established in Brahman alone. Brahmani eva sthitaha. So, Brahmani eva sthitaha. The knowledge of Brahman is not something you can lose because it is oneself. So, the knowledge of Brahman is not something you can lose because it is oneself. Thus, the one who knows Brahman abides in Brahman. Knowing Brahman is not a matter of matter for memory. Memory is something that you collect about an object. Here, the person was ignorant about the nature of Atma, and ignorance is no longer there now. Because the self is always there, there is no question of forgetting the self. The person who knows Brahman is Brahman, and he or she remains in Brahman. Even after death, the person is Brahman. The entire meaning then is expressed by this one short sentence. Thira buddhihi asammudaha brahmavit brahmani sthitaha. So somebody who has thira buddhi is one who knows Brahman, that without any doubt in his mind, and Brahmavit Brahmani Sitaha. So Brahmavit is one who knows Atma, that Atma, and he is steady in Brahma, steady in his knowledge. So that's not getting lost anywhere. In the next verse, Krishna describes the happiness of such people. Well, this Brahman is Atma is Brahman, Brahman is Atma. So there is no Brahman other than Atma. So we read, is it's a mandate to have that knowledge about whether you get elated when you have desirable things, not sad when you get upset when you're having undesirable things. That was answered. And then the vice person's knowledge is steady, how? And then there is no Brahman other than Atma. So shall we do Manana now? And then go further. If anyone wants me to read anything, let me know, please.
Okay, Gurudev. Thank you for stepping in, Dr. Mara, at short notice. The thing is, the why it is a mandate for sadhaks is so important, because yesterday I had a we were going for the satsang. As it is, we were a bit late. And then we found that there was someone else who's parked their car right in front of our car. So no possibility of taking it out. So my immediate reaction, of course, thankfully the security person was there. So what happened was I was off center for a while. So then afterwards I realized, I said, no, this is not how a wise person does. Wise person naturally is not off center. But a sadhak has this possibility of being off center, and that is why it is a mandate. That is why it is
Terrible.
it should be. It's a mandate.
That's right.
So
So
I was just wanting to share this. It is
yeah.
so important. I mean, reading this understanding is on one side, but practically implementing it, given a situation, that being in that knowledge, being centered, and not getting na dvijet, na dveshti, na kankshati. And so this is something I wanted to share. So actually, every day, the moment we wake up till the moment we sleep, we are given so many situations for us to exercise this, to implement this.
We react right,
Right. Right.
before even the knowledge intervenes, that we have to. Then again, you kind of calm down. You don't kind of go to that boiling point, right? And that kind of, centeredness is there. But as you said, before even it comes to your mind, that little reaction comes to your mind, right? Mhm. Yeah, that's where the mandate comes, right? Like how nicely Bhagavan Krishna puts it. There is no set rule. He didn't set rules or how to behave. But if the wise person is doing like this, and the samsari doing like this, and somebody who is doing pursuing this path, what you should do, the love. So you choose the path. This is the knowledge. So here, very nicely given, right? So how he puts it like this, like the Sthira Buddhi person, one who knows Brahman, and he stays rooted in Brahman, this then in he's established in Brahman, right? Like that. And that's who is firm in that knowledge. and free from any vagueness or doubt that he um, he reaches this Brahma with. So, and then he remains in the Brahman, Stiraha, like Sitaha means steady in Brahman. So, in the first line comes in where he explains who the one who is the Brahma with does not rejoice when the desirable things happens, and does not um, uh, become unhappy when undesirable things happen. But again, he says, well, when he says not unhappy, that he is not happy with undesirable things either. He's just, he is complete and full, fullness. So he remains in that, in Brahman, and so he is completely happy with, in that knowledge. But that's what he says. He doesn't tell any of them, but they normally they don't do it themselves. So please share your
Yeah, Jai Gurudev, Brahmaraji, very beautiful example. Every time it's a testing time, every moment. And especially it happens when the situation is such that you are tested at the peak moment. Every time, whether it is at home or in the office or while interacting in the society. And
yeah.
so there it is so very important that is Sthira Buddhi, um, where the very beautiful word Swamiji has used, the one who feels complete. So before, I think in the second or third chapter, he had used the word Yukta also, the one who is his inner and his all
Complete.
senses, yeah, they are together.
Mm.
That person, he immediately he comes back to the center and he realizes. And the
Yoga.
one when,
Mm.
yeah, he will not be that yo-yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Believe it or not, every day it happens, every moment it happens, especially
every moment, yes,
get very touchy, right? Like,
yes. And
then
it is,
afterwards, you after reacted on, oh, I should not have done that,
yes,
Like, I should come and react, not react to this like that. But then,
yeah,
not unhappy or happy in that point, but just that you want them to say it in a way that you wanted. That is still there, that like type of
yeah.
thing.
Work in progress, we are still.
Yeah,
That is why that little, but we come back to the center. That is a positive thing, that it doesn't continue and it doesn't remain stored in our mind. but it
Right.
is like a lesson we learn.
You just let it go, not bother you too much.
Yeah.
You just say what you have to say, and then okay, then that's fine, So you're trying to have that, but then the more we revel in this, kind of repeat ourselves, not do this, not do that. That will be helpful. Kind of remind
Mm.
ourselves. Yeah.
And the teachers are our immediate family members only, not
I
any
know it
outside.
happens only to children or your husband,
Yes.
at least the reaction time is a little bit more when other people, but in the family, it's
Mm.
so immediate. So I wonder why that happens.
Mm. It's very common, and they are our teachers.
Yeah, then we have to remember ourselves. Okay, yeah, don't do that, don't do that. Like,
Yes, it's a time to respond, not to react.
I had to put this letter in the refrigerator. Na praharishyati na udvijate.
Ud-
How do you say that again? Na udvijate, udvijite. Or I,
In the shloka, it is as a verb, it is udvijet, but in
uh,
the shloka, it is
Vijayate.
uh, udvijet. Yeah, no udvijet.
Okay, got it. Okay, please share.
And that word Atmavit and Tattvavit, they are Brahmavit, Kshamata.
Yeah,
Atmavit, Brahmavit, so beautiful they are. The one who knows that Atma is Brahman, and because of that only everything is that easiness, that existence is very much because of the Atma. So whatever you, whether it is yourself, others, situations, people, everything is nothing but the sameness.
yeah.
When that clarity is there, then nothing bothers you.
Yeah, that kind of it's almost like an equation, right? The one who knows Atma is called an Atmavid, and he is a Brahmavid, the one who knows the Brahman. So as if they are two different, right? And then the
Mm,
following sentence says, the one who knows Atma is a Brahmavid, and the one who knows Brahman is an Atmavid, because there is no Brahman other than Atma. So it's the word is somewhat like interchangeable, but uh, so this Atma is the only one. And in terms of that Brahman word also, I wondered that is it interchangeable word like Brahman? As far as this concerned, like it sounds like Atma is Brahman.
interchangeable or not, that I don't, but this Brahmavit, Atmavit, Tattvavit, I mean, the one who knows the Tattva, that the very essence, the one who knows the Atma, and the one who knows the Brahman.
So that
So,
means like you are going step by step then. This is the tattva. And one who knows
mm,
ways. And then one who
and
knows,
that Samadrashti in the previous shloka, he had said, no, Samadrashti. When that sameness comes,
yeah, Samadarshi.
then you see the same Brahman in everybody
Then
and
that's
everywhere.
Brahman is the one is pervading all beings, right? So that
Yeah, from that piece of grass to the Brahmaji.
so
It is
that
the same Brahman, yeah.
mm, so you have to go through this steps. So everything is one who knows is that with part. Mm.
Mm.
Okay. Anyone else wants to share? 10 minutes more. So how that next verse saying the Krishna described the happiness of such people. So how when the wise person is so complete and full and they're happy, the nature of them is happiness. So that he's described the happiness of such people. Ah.
The Mudha Prayoga, the Mudha Shabda in Nirvana Shatakam also Shankaracharya ji has. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudha Mate.
Yeah, that's what I
That there
remember.
is nothing.
Like this, right? So some mood. But in that, it was more like you are,
Yeah,
yeah.
that you are engaged in the sansara and
Hmm.
mhm.
Okay. Do you want to read the verse for me, please? And then
Yeah, okay.
yes.
बाह्यस्पर्शे स्वसक्तात्मा विन्दत्यात्मनि यत् सुखं स ब्रह्मयोगयुक्तात्मा सुखम् अक्षयमश्नुते.
Bahyasparseshu, with reference to external sense object that contact the sense organs. With reference to external sense objects that contact the sense organs. That's a Bahyasparseshu. Asakta Atma, one whose mind is not attached. Asakta Atma, one whose mind is not attached. Atmani, in the self, yat sukham asti tat. Yat sukham asti tat. That happiness, fullness which is present. That happiness, fullness which is present. Vindati gains, saha, he or she, Brahma Yoga Yukta Atma. Brahma Yoga Yukta Atma, one whose mind is endowed with the knowledge of Brahman. Oh, okay. So the person that Jiva Nukta, that person is called his Atma. So he is reveling in Brahman. But Atma is Brahman. So he has that, okay, that's why we are using two different terms. So it is two different terms. Brahma Yoga Yukta Atma, one whose mind is endowed with the knowledge of Brahman. Akshayam Sukham. Akshayam Sukham. Happiness that does not wax and wane. Asnute gains. Bahyaspatseshu Asaktatma Atmani Yat Sukham Asti Tat Vindati Saha Brahma Yoga Yuktatma Akshayam Sukham Asnute. The one whose mind is not attached to the external objects that contact the sense organs gains that happiness, fullness which is in oneself. One whose mind is endowed with the knowledge of Brahman gains that happiness that does not wax and wane. So the one whose mind is not attached, I'll read it again. The one whose mind is not attached to the external sense object that contact the sense organs gains that happiness, fullness, which is in oneself. One whose mind is endowed with the knowledge of Brahman gains that happiness that does not wax and wane. This verse can be interpreted in two ways. First, we will see how Shankara explains it. Then we will see the other interpretation. Bahya Sparsha. He refers to external objects that come into contact with the sense organs. This compound is resolved by Shankara as Bahyascha Te Sparshascha, meaning that they are external bahyas and they come into contact with the sense organs, sparsas. Generally, sparsa is used only in the sense of touch. That which is experienced by the sense of touch is called sparsa. Extending this meaning, any object that a person comes in contact with is sparsa. All these sense objects, sound, etc., are sparsas and they are external. Therefore, they are bahya sparsas. Sabdadayaha, sabdadayaha, sound, etc. Include all sounds, forms, touch, taste, and smell. So everything, all the five senses. And with reference to these external objects, bahya sparseshu, the person is asaktatma. That is, in his or her mind, Atma is uninvolved asakta with any of them. So there's uninvolved with any of them, meaning that the person's mind is not hooked by them. In other words, the fancies of the mind, okay, here this is very careful, right? In other words, the fancies of the mind do not bother the person. The one whose mind is not carried away by such fancies, with reference to external sense objects, is therefore described in this verse in two words, Bahyat Sparseshu Asaktatma. Okay, so that's a word here, Bahyat Sparseshu Asaktatma. Freedom from longing. 3 minutes, whatever I can read, I'll read today. Freedom from longing. Shankara expresses this Bahya Sparseshu Asaktatma as one who is free from longing with reference to the sense objects as Vishayeshu Priti Varjita. Vishayeshu Priti Varjita, a person who does not miss the external objects. This being so, the person gains that happiness that is in the Atma. Atmani yat sukham dat vindate. Atma here means Satchit Ananda Atma. Happiness, sukha, has to be mentioned in this way because people generally think that the object themselves give them sukha. But the wise person is also happy without object being instrumental in any way. If a wise person is not elected by objects, how does he become happy? He's happy because all the happiness is with himself. All the happiness is with himself. Sukha is very swarupa, the very nature of Atma. Thus, the word Sukha really means fullness here, fullness being Atma's nature. This Sukha, fullness, is gained by the Jnani who knows that the Atma is not affected by the external objects that come into contact with the sense organs. He or she gains the Sukha that obtains in the Atma, which is the person's Swarupa. And how do we know that the person being discussed here is wise? The next line points this out, along with the context provided by the previous verse. The person is referred to as Brahma Yoga Yuktatma. Brahma Yoga is the recognition of Atma being Brahman. So the Brahma Yoga Yuktatma is Brahma Yoga is the recognition of Atma being Brahman. This recognition itself is a yoga. Yukta in this compound means endowed with. Thus, the one endowed with the knowledge of Brahman is Brahma Yoga Yukta. One endowed with the knowledge of Brahman is Brahma Yoga Yukta, and the one whose mind is endowed with or resolved in the knowledge of Brahman is the Brahma Yoga Yukta Atma. The mind, Atma meaning the mind, Antakarana, here. This then is the person who gains the happiness that is oneself, Brahma Yoga Yuktatma Atmani in oneself, Sukham Vindate. So how nicely they added the words, right? The Brahma Yoga Yukta Atma, Atmani Sukham Vindate. Relative and absolute sukha. A question might now be asked, how much sukha is there in that Atma? There may be only a little bit of happiness, like the happiness one gets from eating ice cream, for example. Such happiness comes, but it also goes. For a Brahma Yoga Yukta Atma, is this kind of sukha that there is in the Atma? No, says Krishna. The sukha in the Atma is sukha that does not wane. Sukham asak akshayam asnute. Okay. Sukham akshayam asnute. This is a song. There is a song, the theme of which is that if you give love away, it will grow. If you give love away, it will grow. In other words, it does not get spent or die. Similarly, here, sukha in the Atma is a sukha that is not dependent upon any situation. Sukham akshayam. It is yourself. Swarupa. This verse can also be looked at as the description of two different people by taking the two lines separately. The first line describes the karma yogi who is not carried away by fancies. Bhagya sparseshu asakta atma. The second line describes the jnani who is endowed with the knowledge of Brahman, Brahma Yoga Yuktatma. If you look at the verse in this way, we see there are two types of sukha mentioned here. A person who does not depend on any external object is or situation for his or her happiness. I think we are a little over time. Let me finish this paragraph. Whether he or she lives this lifestyle of sannyasi or a karma yogi, has a certain attitude, a cheerfulness and contentment with whatever there is. And because of this attitude, the person gains a greater degree of sukha than a person who is entirely dependent upon the presence of desirables and the absence of undesirables. The latter person's sukha is definitely going to be more short-lived when compared to the sukha of a person who is not dependent on situations. For example, you may like tofu, but it may not be served the way you want it. You may like it as it is, and it may come to you fried. Therefore, there are comparable degrees of sukha that people get. All over the world, it is the same. Generally, people are dependent for their sukha upon desirable things coming and undesirable things staying away. How nicely put, right?
Yeah, very beautiful.
I know I couldn't stop reading, but it still looks like it's another couple of pages. So we have to read this again, this sloka number 21, and then do a little bit of Manana on 22. I know not everybody participated. So if they want us to read again tomorrow, we can read it again and go from there. Thank you so much. You want to do the ending sloka and also your sloka, Balaji, that'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Mara, for wonderful interaction as well. Very
No.
nice. Thank you so much. Om Sahana Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kasyid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Tat Sat Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu Jai Gurudev एकमेव द्वितीयं ये ब्रह्म निर्गुणं निश्चलं निर्विकारम् एकमेव द्वितीयं ये ब्रह्म अत्र वेदान्तमेव प्रमाणम् बोधक सद्गुरु तत्त्वनिष्ठः ईश्वरानुगृहीतेन वेद्यम् एकमेव द्वितीयं ये ब्रह्म ज्ञानगम्यं तुरीयं हृदिस्थम् आत्मरूपं हि तत् येन ज्ञातम् सोऽध्वनः पारमाप्नोति सत्यम् एकमेव द्वितीयं ये ब्रह्मज्ञस्य तु ब्रह्मैव सर्वं नास्ति मोहो भयं नैव दुःखम् तस्य स्वानन्दमग्नं हि चित्तम् एकमेव द्वितीयं ये ब्रह्म निर्गुणं निश्चलं निर्विकारम् एकमेव द्वितीयं ये ब्रह्म एकमेव द्वितीयं ये ब्रह्म ब्रह्मैव सत्यम्.
Nice. Thank you so much. Are we still doing that sadhana after the class, Dr. Brahma? Are you? I know Nirmal, I don't see her anymore, but.
Yes, Dr. Mara, there is sadhana at 6 o'clock. You can join in. You have the same link, right?
Yeah.
The sadhana link.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you can join in there.
Thank you.